Jesus Christ.
I hate to be a buzzkill, but I have to be a buzzkill right now.
It's okay. I'm used to it. I'm just kidding. Don't hit me.
Don't make people think I'm violent, because I'm not.
She beats me all the time, savagely.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. God. Anywho, I hate to be a buzzkill, but I have very, very, very sad news to report. Jeff Conaway has died after being taken off life support. He basically slipped into a coma and never woke up from it.
Yeah.
E! Online reports that the 60-year-old star of Grease and Taxi, who publicly struggled with drugs and alcohol over the last decade, died Friday at Los Angeles area hospital. He had been in a coma for more than 2 weeks after being found unconscious in his home. Go ahead.
One of the weird things here, I've read 2 stories about this so far. One reports that he slipped into the coma because of a drug overdose, probably an accidental drug overdose. Meanwhile, you have Dr. Drew Pinsky from Celebrity Rehab, and I knew him from Loveline, but he's saying that apparently there were no signs of an intentional overdose or an overdose of any kind, that this had to do with some other thing.
Well, it doesn't say here, but...
It does if you scroll down.
Oh, where?
There's a little further.
Oh, okay, here we go, sorry. What?
Well,
okay. Scroll down.
I did not say it like that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
When you play it back.
Oh, I could say something right now. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get stabbed.
God.
It has to do with her period. By the way, if you don't hear from me after this podcast, you know the prime suspect.
I'm going to massacre you after this.
She will.
After Conaway, I can't even talk right now because of you, fucker. After Conaway was discovered unresponsive on May the 11th, manager Phil Brock first said that an overdose of painkillers was a likely culprit, but that theory was disputed by Celebrity Rehab's Dr. Drew Pinsky, who said that there was no sign of an intentional overdose. There is no, quote, there is no evidence showing Jeff died from an overdose. This was aspiration with overwhelming pneumonia and sepsis. Jeff is another example of a pharmaceutical death from the overutilization of prescription drugs, unquote. Pinsky, who visited Conaway late last week at Encino Tarzana Regional Medical Center, told E! News on Friday.
So I'm no doctor, but it sounds to me what he's claiming is that his system was already shot to hell. He was already in a weakened state because of the years of abuse, and that led to complications with other health issues like pneumonia and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, well,
I mean, I don't know if I think he's on the first.
Look, I'm waiting for the coroner's report.
Yeah, I mean,
I
just speculate all you want.
I like Dr. Drew. He is actually, as he always said, a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. But I don't think he did the autopsy.
Well, you wait for the coroner's report.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people were aware that he was on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew on the very first season. Drugs were a huge problem in this man's life for a number of years, as it says here, for over a decade. And it did look like, actually, on the show, because I did watch the first season, that he would get better. And then, I've never been to rehab myself. I've never used drugs. But the thing about the show is that they show how difficult and how much of a toll it is on the body, especially for someone that's been ingesting it, or however they get the drugs into their system, how much it takes to relieve yourself of the drugs that are still in your system. And he was a mess for a while, but it seemed that he would get better, then kind of relapse, get better, then relapse, and then it looked like he was going to be okay for the most part. But it's hard because my question was this from recreational drugs or from prescription drugs? Well,
that's the thing though, is that, look, a drug is a drug is a drug. In my book, we call them recreational simply because they aren't prescribed to you by a doctor and they aren't technically legal. Meanwhile, prescription drugs, there are plenty of prescription drugs that are way more dangerous than a lot of the illicit
Well, no, of
drugs
course,
that
you
we have.
can get jaundice from taking too much calcium. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well,
I
no.
was-
Have you watched these fucking ads on TV where they're talking about how like
cause
you want
constipation and
like
death.
like you want to get rid of a little psoriasis or something, and they warn you that you could start bleeding to death out of your asshole, or like side effects may include whooping cough and full blown AIDS. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll just put up with a little itchy patch. I'll get some lotion.
Guys, just a note: you cannot get AIDS.
Well,
from
I did not.
taking a certain
I did not. I
medication.
did not name a medication, so we are
But
not.
insinuating you can contract AIDS.
We're not liable, okay?
From a medication. AIDS is transmitted sexually or intravenously through the use of through the misuse that
Or
is,
occasionally
of
through a
needles.
blowgun.
Good God. But no, I was asking because I was like, oh, was he?
That's how they got easy.